ears? Alright. Do you have in ears? Or we have? Okay.
See, that's the red light. I got so much of my brain, my youngin' been smoking on dead guys. Heard he got hit in his brain, and youngin' been circling every night. I made it out and I'm still living proof, and they ain't wanting me, just telling the truth. You caught me once and I'm cutting you loose. Yeah, I got my all tags. Yeah.
Now you're doing Paradise, and now you're trying to doing more of like something that's more celebratory and stuff like that. So for you, you know, how's that been? Like, how's that been? Like moving from like a space of pain and grief to a space of more celebration and stuff like that.
I feel like for my first project, that's where I was at. It was just a celebration of life in terms of like making it to where we felt like we've been deserving of, you know, and that's having a platform with Warner, having a platform to just put out the music and have it at the highest level. So going forward now, Paradise, I feel like that's more me speaking on my pain, more me speaking on the world's situation. I feel like it's a lot deeper, just Paradise, in terms of just traveling the world and seeing where everybody else is at, and then seeing what I'm grateful for, and seeing like, you know, seeing how the world moves. I was in a space where I was like, I didn't know what the next transition of my music would bring. Now I feel like I know the next direction of where I'm gonna take it. Like I want to infuse a little bit more of my roots. You could travel to Jamaica and you could be at the resort and see the beautiful land, or you could go to the trenches and see what's really going on. So it's like, no matter what I do, I always try to bring it back to where I came from, and I feel like it's really important for me to touch on my background and just touch that side.
Ready? Why don't you tell us more about your time in Jamaica? You went back.
I feel like it was just kind of to clear my mind at the moment. But when I left, I was kind of more in a mind state of like, okay, now I know where to go with the new music in terms of just like touching on topics of poverty, touching on topics that, like I said, people don't really talk about. I just wanted to make it more worldwide, make it feel like, you know, I know there's a lot of different people in the office and Warner that help me with my music in terms of like pushing it. So I know it's a lot of different ethnicities, there's a lot of different vibes in there, so I definitely want to bring that to my music so that everyone can feel it, not just the trenches.
One thing that I think we talk about a lot about music from Toronto is that sometimes we come from such a multicultural city, and so many of our artists like don't tap into their roots. I
feel like that's why Drake's so big, why Weeknd's so big, is because even Tory, because they tap into different genres and they show that multiculturalism in their music. So that's what I definitely want to do. So I feel like the one with Coffee will be a big one in terms of like changing the narrative, in terms of like Toronto rap and just the stigma that we get of just being street and street only, you know?
Can't wear Jordan Aquas anymore. Why?
That's funny, because I've been looking for them recently. Because after I said that, I like must have seen a picture of myself in them. But why I said that originally is like, I would just remember being broken. That's the only shoe that I had. The Jordan Aqua 8s. I just remember being mad broken. That's the only Jordan that I had at the time to sell my whole collection type of shit.
Do you have like shoes that you like to perform in actually?
Not necessarily. Last tour that I did with Juice, I was wearing the 12s. So maybe I'll say Jordan. When I was coming up, I was hustling for Jordans basically. I was hustling to make sure every Saturday I could go get new J's. Air Force One's my favorite shoe though. Definitely.
Are we just talking like all white Air Force One, or like talking about the lab that you got there?
We had this conversation yesterday. I feel like the low cut white ones is the cleanest you could go. Very important to like travel the world and see that shit, and just see from a perspective of like how the rest of the world operates. I went to a house, no lie, it was a shack. Living room, bedroom, the kitchen is in the backyard with a little sink that barely brings any water, and a little little stove thing like this. Of course, we have our poverty here. We have things that we have to fix in Canada still, but it's like there's billionaires here. There's millionaires. Why are we still in these conditions? You know what I'm trying to say?
We get to see the effects of poverty back home here and how it's led us here, but then also how the fact that like even as like we're able to get out of the trenches of like the homeland and you come here and then we're in a different set of problems and stuff like that.
Exactly. Trenches here is not the trenches. It's a tall ass building. You would think Jamaica, they wish they could have them buildings.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like when you see the real trenches, when you see these people walking around with no shoes on,
It hurts you. Like,
it hurts you.
Really,
It humbles
like,
you.
you be
It
quiet.
humbles you. You could go to the beach and see the nice spots, or you could go to the trenches and see how they're really living.
From that big dip right there?
There's songs sometimes that I don't know the song, but I hear it on TikTok.
You hear it on TikTok for sure. Somebody played a song from it came from TikTok. I had no idea what the actual song was.
Yeah.
The TikTok lick was dope.
Yeah.
The rest of the song was trash.
It's crazy because when you're in the studio and they're making these type of songs, they're so calculated. It's like rap music is kind of like scrapbook compared to this. It's like we're just piecing it together, you know? They're doing it section by section, adding this, adding that. It's like crazy. Said pink. Oh, this one I gotta try pink rosé. I keep on seeing this shit.
I just smoked it on the way here. It's different, you know? These are probably a little old too still, so they probably won't stink like that.
I like the cheetah pea and I like the pink rosé.
How does weed affect your creative process?
It adds to it for sure. Like this is vibing out. Really like. I don't even think I've recorded a song that I haven't smoked weed. Like it's that big, you know? So it was Khalifa style for sure.
So like how's the process? Like, you know, like so you smoke a joint and you like go straight into writing or like straight onto the mic? In the studio.
Probably straight onto the mic. Like in terms of writing, sometimes I write 4 bars, sometimes I write the whole thing. But like for the most part, I freestyle most of my stuff.
There's a Wiz Khalifa quote where it's kind of like if the weed's your problem, you're the weed's not the problem, you're the problem. Too much of it, you're not control yourself.
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel about that?
It's definitely true. Of course, you have people that everyone's tolerance different is different, you know. So a lot of people maybe shouldn't be smoking weed, and a lot of people, you know, that's kind of their vice in terms of how it helps them get through the day or whatever.
Ideal situation. How are you? Where and how are you smoking your weed?
Home, smoking my weed. Yeah.
And how do you smoke weed?
Chilling. Grabber, for sure. Raw papers. I kind of quit backwards maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, stopped smoking backwards. It's just too harsh. It's just too much. Like the vein was too much. Like it's just too much for me.
Great idea. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The memory wall. Seed bank.
Seed bank?
That's funny.
No, buddy. I appreciate it for sure. For sure. Cookies, running. Love.
And how has like, you know, performing, you know, doing shows and stuff like affected the way you approach your rap?
That's a good question. Because it's a hard balance between getting like the essence across. I feel like an artist like Kendrick does it very well. Like a song like Family. Like he has a song like Family Ties, or other songs he has where they're like more down tempo and like, you know, introspective. But it's just a balance. Like right now where I'm at, I probably feel more comfortable performing my turn up songs because I know everybody's in the party vibe, so they're gonna vibe out anyways. Rather than being able to switch it up and get into some introspective stuff. I'm trying to learn that eventually and know how to control the crowd even when I'm slowing things down, you know?
Yeah. Sharing lessons and stuff like that. Why is that important to you?
I know both sides of this shit, so it's like, where some people will just glorify the good parts, the ice, the watches, the jewelry, whatever, you know? Try to talk about the other side of shit. Where we're from, it's like negative first. It's like you're taught. I was talking to someone the other day, I'm like, you're taught, in the hood, you're taught like certain shit is supposed to come before certain shit when it's not that way. Like, you know, it's like, it's just regular to go to jail. It's just regular to fucking like do certain shit. Like, oh, you didn't go to jail yet? Damn. Like, you know, like.
Portion is probably the only, like the biggest motivation that the neighborhood itself that we grew up in, it has right now. Because you're showing you it's possible. That sounds corny to say because everybody says it, but it's the truth.
Come on, nigga, on my chain. It's the only time I see him through pictures. So it's like,
Exactly.
it's real life. And I got plenty of other people that.
Yeah.
Show our other homie.
He's from my neighborhood. Porsche made a song about him.
These people are young. The nigga on my chain was 25 when he died. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy what you see in this life. And then also when you're a kid, I remember being a kid and just thinking that all this shit's cool. Like, what the fuck, this is what I have to do.
I was shooting a video, and we had money in the video. So we wanted one of the kids to hold the money. But as soon as I placed the money in his hand, I heard background chatter, you know, all the friends talking. And immediately, I know what I would feel like as a child if somebody put that much money in my hand. So I was like, you know what, let me take the time while everybody's yelling and gassing up his head. I said, brother, listen, this might seem cool right now, but trust me, this same money that you're holding in your hand, you could get it being a manager, you could get it being a lawyer, you could get it being a doctor. However you might believe that this money, how we might have got it or somebody else might have got it, there's options. And there's better options than the ones that excite you. You know, the bad ones that excite you.
Obviously, we're the Moment Network and stuff like that. So, the question that we have is, what does being in the moment mean to you?
Being in the moment, living for it, living, like just vibing out. Really, like, I try to live in the moment for most of the things I do and just vibe out and see how shit goes, try different things, you know?
Make some noise if y'all ready for a good show tonight. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But without further ado, let me bring my man to the stage. He goes by the name of Portia. Yeah. Hold on. Toronto. Yeah. Yo, can we get some hands in the air? Toronto, what's up? Yeah. Toronto, what's up? Can we get some hands in the air? Shout out Portia. Put them up one time. Yeah,
I got so much in my brain, my youngin' been smoking on dead guys. Heady got head in the brain, the youngins been circling every night. I made it out and I'm still living proof. And they ain't want to hit me, I told them the truth. You cross me once and I'm cutting you loose. I got my ties, you can see the pain in my eyes when I ride by. Forever you see me, I roll with them killers, got my ties.
After that amazing performance out there.
Good for sure, good. Feels good to be back in the city. You know? Hometown love. It is what it is.
So right now after the concert, right off quick, what does being in the moment mean to you now?
Being in the moment is like performing on the stage, just vibing out. Cause sometimes, remember I told you I got nervous? I wasn't nervous just now, so it's like, for sure when you're in the moment, you just gotta see it through. Sure. That's good. That's good. It's Portia. We on the Moment Network.
Hey, get all of this shit. Get all of this shit. You feel me? We out here.
Moment Network. Come on, Moment Network. Get with it. I must have had like 5,000 followers. I was like, nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I had a little buzz in the city. I had a little few songs, but I feel like just me putting my mind state in the sense of like get rich or die trying, kind of that 50 Cent mind state. Like, yeah, you know, I have to make it happen.